Hey everyone, welcome back to SG Carmart Reviews. So I drove the original MG ZS EV a couple of years ago and I found quite a lot to like about the car. So, it was attractively priced, it was easy to drive, and it was comfortable to drive every day. So there was a lot of everyday practicality, and it also had the capability to DC fast charge in just 40 minutes. Now the car has been facelifted and quite a lot has changed, so let's go check it out. So before we get to the review, today's episode is made possible by SG Carmart Smart Loan. SG Carmart Smart Loan is designed to save you time and money through a digitalized loan application via MyInfo for your used car purchase at below market interest rates. For a limited time only, get $500 cashback and a 6 months Kinto membership worth $1,200 when you apply for a loan today. To find out how much money you'll save when you buy a used personal or private hire car, click on the link in the description below now. The MG ZS EV is priced at $82,888 without COE. The single electric motor produces 174 brake horsepower and 280 Nm of torque. Single-speed transmission brings the car from 0 to 100 km/h in 8.6 seconds. The battery capacity of the MG ZS EV is 51 kWh with a drive range of 320 km. For more details on the MG ZS EV or any other car, head on to sgcarmart.com to help you make the smart choice on your next car. The most obvious change on the outside is clearly at the front. So the front end has been redesigned, right? So we have this new blanked out grille, the charging port has actually been moved off to the side, and this lower bumper area is different as well. And overall, I think it's a little bit more distinctive in its design and a little bit sporty as well. It's also worth noting that the car is slightly longer than before. At the rear, we also have redesigned taillights. Now, boot space. Okay, so here we have an electric tailgate, and that's kind of nifty. So boot space, 488 litres, so that's actually a little bit bigger than before, and it's a good size boot, right? Yes, it won't pass the anti-Troy Lang test, but I think for most people, 488 litres is plenty, so you easily swallow up the big luggage. Now let's go jump inside the car and see what's changed. Here in the rear of the ZS EV, it feels quite similar to before, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. So we have a good amount of space, right? So legroom is quite good, and I'm 1.7 and the headroom is pretty decent as well. And I must say, the materials feel a little bit better than I remember the pre-facelift model, so comfort levels are good. Now in terms of amenities, we have a USB-A port, USB-C port, and rear aircon vents, but no dedicated aircon controls, and we also of course have ISOFIX points as well. Now if I slide on over to the middle seat, the floor is nice and flat, so you can tuck your feet in, and the middle seat is okay, so there's a little bit of a hump here, but it's not uncomfortable in any way. It's a little bit on the narrow side, but I think for short to mid-length journeys, you can fit 3 adults here, no problem at all. Now let's go jump in the front and see what else is new. Now it's here in the front where the changes are most obvious. So I think there is a notable uptick in overall quality. So for example, we now have a fully digital cluster. So previously it was 2 analog dials and a really small screen in the middle. Now it's a proper digital interface, right? So you have a pretty sizable screen in the middle where you can, change different displays and see different things. And equipment levels here are pretty high, I must say. So we have a 10.1-inch touchscreen, which has things like Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, music, Bluetooth, all that kind of things. And the buttons here have been redesigned as well. They look a lot nicer than before. Equipment-wise, we also have USB-C, USB-A with wireless charging. And when it comes to overall comfort and materials, I think it's quite nice. It feels better than before. So yes, you have this kind of carbon fiber print thing, but to the touch, it feels quite nice. What do I not like about this interior? Well, first thing is the driving position. So it's not great, but particularly because there is only tilt adjustment, no telescopic adjustment, so I cannot really get into a very, very comfortable driving position. And another little strange quirk about this car is that with your aircon vents, it's open when it's at the side and closed when it's upright, which is kind of opposite from how you normally expect it to be, but just one of those things. Now let's go drive this car and see how it feels on the road. Mechanically, the ZS EV has been updated as well. So power output is slightly different. So now we have 130 kilowatts and 280 Newton meters of torque. So for some context, that's more power but less torque than before. That's it. For your on-road driving, it's perfectly usable. I think that's plenty of accelerative force. So if I put my foot down, it picks up quite well. It's not super quick, obviously, but you know, for your everyday driving, for that occasional overtaking maneuver, it's plenty, right? Also, the battery has been updated, so we have a slightly bigger battery now, so it's 51 kilowatt hour, and that translates to, let's see here, 310 km of estimated range on a full charge, and this is with the car just set in normal, right? So I am doing 18 kilowatt hour per 100 km, so do the math, but basically, yeah, easily 300 km on a full charge. So I think that's quite good, right? It's not a particularly big battery, but I think for what it is actually pretty good. Now, how does the car actually feel on the road? I must say it feels better than before. So I remember the pre-facelift model to be comfortable, yes, but a little bit sort of top-heavy and a little bit sort of uncomposed over bumps. So this one is definitely a lot better. So it feels a little bit more weighted down, and over bumps is actually notably better. So, you know, it drives quite well. Some downsides, yeah, there's not much in the way of steering feel, and you know, the car feels kind of numb, but you know, what do you expect, right? That's, I guess, kind of normal for a car in this particular segment. Also, this car does come with a pretty comprehensive suite of safety systems. So we have adaptive cruise control, we have lane keep assist, we have rear cross traffic alert, all that kind of things. And I think, again, for a car in this particular segment, it is pretty comprehensive. So the facelifted ZS EV, is it a will buy, won't buy, or go try? And for me, it's a go try. So I'm a little bit conflicted with this car because I'll be very honest, this car is definitely an improvement from before, and the improvements are very notable. You can definitely feel it, right? And obviously the bigger battery makes a difference as well. However, this car does run into one kinda significant problem. So the revised power output means that this is now a Cat B car, and that immediately sort of hinders one of its key sort of selling points, right? Which is the fact that it's supposed to be quite affordable. And as a result, you know, this car is priced at 82,888 before COE, but once you consider Cat B COE now, this car is sort of creeping worryingly close to 200,000, and that just means it's honestly just not as affordable as before. And I just think that's a little bit of a bummer because, you know, it's a good car, right? It's capable, it's well equipped, it's well designed, and it is really designed to bring electric mobility to the masses. But just given where COE is right now, unfortunately, it's just not as affordable as it could be. So that's our review of the facelifted MG ZS EV. Thanks for watching, and do remember to like, share and subscribe to our channel. Those of you watching who are not subscribed, please subscribe. And of course, hit the notification bell so you will be alerted of all our upcoming videos. Also follow us on TikTok so you can check out all kinds of behind the scenes stuff, and we are at SG Car Mart. So yes, that's all I have for you today. I'll see you soon. Bye!
Nice.
Sweet! You know ZS EV a couple of years ago, and video one. Got distracted by that. On the link in the shut up.